April 22nd, 1985. File on the murder of Channing Capwell Jr. Case reopened. Today, better make that yesterday. My houseboat was ransacked and my records pertaining to the case were stolen. This is the latest in a series of incidents. Since I found out that Peter Flint wasn't the killer, someone, presumably the real murderer, has been anticipating even my investigation. First, the murder weapon disappeared from the Capwell study. Then I found live bullets in the tunnel between the Capwell and Lockridge homes. Which means the murderer could have known about the tunnel 6 years ago. Could have used it to enter the study and murder Channing. And then used it again as a means of escape. Possible suspects. Okay. So who knew about the tunnel? Who was around that day? July 30th, 1979, the day Channing was murdered. Lionel Lockridge, obviously. And Minx. Augusta and Warren maybe knew. Augusta and Warren. On the Capwell side, Mason. Mason Capwell, a loner, a man who felt rejected by his father, shoved into the background by his star-quality kid brother. If anyone had reason to hate Channing, it was Mason.
You know, Frank, a night without a drink is like
one of your jokes without a punchline.
Precisely, so set 'em up.
About the usual.
I believe so. I think I deserve it. By and large, I've been a good boy today.
I was about to say, it's almost closing time and you're still on your feet. I'm impressed.
Well, not every man who can impress his bartender. Better make it a soda and lemon, Frank. I need to keep a clear head tonight.
There you go.
Thank you, my man.
I need to work out my strategy. If I showed my father Lindsay's love letter to Channing right now, he'd only accuse me of forging it. No, I have to present him with tangible and irrefutable proof, preferably in the form of Lindsay Smith.
Ought to be here by now. He's late.
Suspects. Last but not least, Channing's lover, Lindsay Smith.
Hank, you better have those pills. Please, let him have those pills.
You're up early, Kelly? Kelly, what's the matter?
Joe, I don't want to go back to Santa Barbara.
You're afraid, Kelly. You're afraid that everything there will remind you of Joe and that you won't be able to bear the pain. But the truth is, Kelly, you've taken the pain with you, only you've tried to make yourself numb so that you won't feel it.
Good as feeling. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to bring him back.
Kelly, you have to give yourself time to heal, and you will heal, I promise you. But not by denying that you're hurting. Kelly, there are people in Santa Barbara who love you and they know how to help you. It's time to go home, Kelly.
You're right. You're right, Marcello, about everything.
Yeah.
Were you asleep?
No. Where are you?
I'm in Bermuda with Kelly. You're never going to guess who's here. Marcello Armonti. He says he's trying to convince Kelly to come home, but I don't trust him for a minute. And get this. I searched his room, and guess what I found? United States military ID tags belonging to Lieutenant Channing Capwell in Marcello's possession. Can you believe that? I mean, I'm worried about Daddy and Kelly now. I mean, what's going on? I mean, it scares me.
Did you take the tags, Eden?
Yes.
That was not a smart thing to do.
What's this with your voice? Are you still mad at me?
Well, now, why in the hell would I be angry at you? Just because you took the engagement ring I gave you and flushed it down the toilet? You were just showing me how you felt about my proposal. And I certainly can't get angry at you for being honest with me, now can I?
Yes, you can. You do all the time. Listen, did you try to retrieve it?
How thoughtful of you to be concerned. I did manage to fish out the box. But the ring is lost. So you won't have to worry about me trying to push it on you ever again.
No, I'm not worried. Not at all. I mean, I thought you'd get the message loud and clear anyway.
Oh, yeah. I gotta be clobbered over the head a few times, but eventually it sinks in.
Oh, don't let it sink in too far.
What does that mean?
Nothing. Look, what am I supposed to do about these dog tags?
Why don't you try dropping them into the same place you dropped the ring?
Oh, now that's very clever. Now, why don't we be serious? This is important.
Oh, sir, excuse me. Why don't you try putting them back before he knows they're missing? Is that serious enough for you?
Cruz? Oh, damn it.
I had a hockey necklace he gave me. What am I going to tell him if he asks me why?
Tell him
What time does your...
I overslept. Who is it?
That's your alarm clock.
Warren. Come on in.
Morning.
Thanks for waking me up. I was dead to the world. Just got to sleep a couple hours ago.
Oh, really? How come?
Bad night. Having second and third thoughts about hiring Mason. I think you're probably right. He's too dominated by his father to put up a good fight against him. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't ask why you're here.
I was having second and third thoughts about hiring Mason, but I think he just might be angry enough at his old man to pull it off.
This is what's called change lobsters and dams.
I think you're right.
Where does that leave us?
I think it's going to leave you late for work if you don't go get ready.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, both points are valid.
Yeah.
Would you get that,
Sure,
please?
no problem. Well, speaking of the devil...
Oh, funny you should say that, Warren, because I've been dragging my tail all morning. I'll be fine once I've had my first cup of coffee. Maggie, have a pot on? Or, is that your job in the morning?
Maggie overslept, and I just arrived. If you'd care for coffee, there's a coffee shop around the corner, Mason.
Touchy, touchy.
Who's at the door, Warren?
It's, Mason. Maggie, I hate to barge in so early, but I need a certain document regarding the accident from your file.
Oh, I'll be out in a minute.
Okay. Warren, I also need something from you.
Oh, what could that be?
Access to the tunnel from the Lockridge side.
How come?
Because I don't want to be seen entering from the Capwell side.
I mean, how come you want to get in there in the first place?
I don't want to go into that right now, but it's important. Now, I expect these favors from clients. It's one of my conditions.
All right. All right. I don't know what it has to do with anything, but I'll get you in there, okay?
Good. It'll be sometime later today.
Good morning, Mason. Sorry I kept you waiting.
No, that's quite all right. Warren and I were having a nice little chat.
Oh, what about this article you were talking about?
Yeah, it's the one about the installation of safety equipment on the oil rig.
Yeah, I think it's this one.
Right. That's the one. Blake Carney. Pressure relief valves installed in 48 hours. 2 days. Now, that's interesting.
What is?
Well, nothing. I want to check it out first. I'm going to take this and have a copy made of. Is that all right?
Yeah, fine.
Maggie, there's something else that I need to talk to you about. I've already devoted quite a bit of time to this case, and as you know, lawyers have to eat.
Don't worry about the cost. You'll be paid.
Well, you realize that this sort of legal action is going to be very expensive on a policeman's salary.
Yeah, but when you took this case, you understood what the circumstances were.
Yes, but the unspoken assumption was that Warren would be underwriting the legal cost.
Whose unspoken assumption? Not mine.
Maggie, I always intended to help pay.
Look, thanks, but I'll swing it on my own.
Look, we might as well drop this thing right where it is, because there's no way you can do that.
It's not your responsibility.
Look, I want it to be partly my responsibility. It means a lot to me. You gotta understand that.
Look, I'm going to be late. We'll talk about this later.
Fine. I'd like to see you both around noon today, if that's possible.
Oh, I'll come home for lunch, Warren.
Sure, I'll be here.
Great.
We'll see you then, Mason. Let's go, gentlemen.
Joe, when I'm home, it's like like I have to fight to keep from feeling like a child.
Or be treated like one.
You know, I didn't even have the courage to tell Daddy that I was talking to you on the phone instead of seeing Dr. Albert.
What do you think he'd do?
He'd be angry with me.
What does that mean?
Oh, I'll tell you what it wouldn't mean. It wouldn't mean that he would stop loving me, or that I would be a bad person, or that I would have to give in to do what he wants me to. I know.
That's very good. You might consider becoming a therapist yourself someday. No, I'm serious. You're intelligent and intuitive.
And scared and weepy.
And altogether very human, the best way to be.
You're such an optimist, Marcello.
Yes, when it comes to you, absolutely. But Kelly, don't you think it's time that your family found out just exactly how far along you are?
I guess I'm just afraid that Daddy won't be able to see it.
Oh, he will. He will. He'll see that you've become your own woman, and he'll be impressed. And then he'll trust you to live your own life just the way you want to.
Will you come with me to see him?
Kelly, I'll be happy to come along with you as your ally to help you feel confident at first, but soon you'll realize how independent you've become, and then you won't need me anymore.
Now, I didn't say it was going to be easy, but I feel it. Feels right.
Good.
May I come in?
Of course.
Hi.
Hi.
Eden, I'm going back. I'm going to go home.
You are? That's
Yeah.
great. Thank you.
Marcello, he helped me figure out what I really wanted to do.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you, Marcello.
Well, you're very welcome, Eden. I don't know about the two of you, but I'm starved. Shall I see about having some lunch brought in?
Yes, please.
Good.
I just realized I'm starving, too.
Oh, that would be nice.
Fine. I'll see what I can do. I'll be back shortly.
He's been so good to me, Eden. I'm lucky, you know.
Yeah, well, they say you never get something for nothing.
Why is it you keep hinting that Marcello has some kind of secret motive for helping me?
It's just that he's been trying to get so close to you, that's all.
No, I am the one that is trying to get close to him, to convince him to treat me again. When I first started calling him, he was telling me that this other man was a very good doctor and that I should keep seeing him.
But eventually he let you persuade him?
I don't even like the way you're sounding. But Eden, I didn't want to go back to Dr. Albert because I felt that Marcello was that much better. For me, anyway. And he agreed that we could have the sessions over the phone. And it's helped change my life.
Look, I don't want to take away those good feelings from you.
Nobody can take away those feelings from me, except me. Something else that Marcello helped me understand. And look, last night I had a setback because I was scared. But I'm all right now. And I'm excited about going home. And I really feel as if I'm starting my new life, so can't you just be happy for me?
I am. I love you.
I love you, too. Hey, where's food?
It's on its way. I've ordered a feast.
For 3.
For 10. Listen, you like lobster?
Great food. So I'm hungry, too.
Well, yeah, come in.
Well, you, got the place put back together, I see.
Yeah. What kind of safety equipment were you wondering about?
The Blake Carney pressure relief valves. Suppose they were defective or improperly installed or due to some oversight not installed at all. What would happen then?
Well, there'd be a buildup of gas or saltwater pressure.
What would have to be done about it?
You'd have to bleed off some of the pressure manually and then get the valves installed as quickly as you could. Otherwise, you'd have the risk of an explosion or a fire or, at the very least, a blowout.
How long would it take to get them installed, functioning properly?
I'd say 4 days. At a minimum, 72 hours. Is some kind of case you're working on?
What about with the crew doubling up, working night and day?
Well, that is with the crew doubling up, working night and day. That would be a top priority job. It would be an emergency.
No way it could be done in less than 72 hours?
Well, let me put it this way. If the crew decided not to relieve their own internal tensions for a few days, you might be able to pare it down to 71 hours and 55 minutes.
48 hours would be out of the question, though.
Absolutely.
Would, you be willing to testify to that in court if it came to it?
Sure, but any qualified petroleum engineer could testify to it.
Thank you, Cruz. You just made my day.
Where did this incident take place?
Well, I'm not at liberty to discuss that right now, but I do thank you for your expertise.
Oh, don't mention it, Mason.
By the way, how is your little undercover investigation of Channing going?
Don't mention it, Mason.
Thanks, I will. I'll see you later, Cruz.
Castillo here. Hey, Rob. Yeah, how you doing? How you characters over at UNIT managing to get around without me? I'll bet. Yeah, listen, yeah, Marcello or Monty, you got it? Great, just a second. Okay, we're on. Let's see what we got here.
Dog tags. I know they were in here. Not here. Damn it, where could they be? Oh, wait. I have to think. It was stolen. This is no ordinary robbery, no money taken, no jewelry, nothing else. Who would want only dog tags? Of course, Eden Capwell.
I wouldn't have thought of that. Maybe Eden's on the right track after all. Yeah, Rob, this is Cruz again. Yeah, thank you, man. I got it. It was great. But I need to impose on you a little more. I got to ask you for something else, and you know I wouldn't do that if it weren't really important. Well, anything and everything you can give me on CC Capwell, his activities and whereabouts during World War II. Yeah, and Rob, I need to get this as fast as I can, man.
All right, I'll pick up Brandon right after dinner then. Okay, Carol, thank you. Bye. Brandon is going over his friend Oliver's house for a play date.
Is that what we just had? Play date?
Well, I guess you can call it that.
I don't care what you call it. It was fantastic. Oh, you are a sensual woman.
Now you bring that out in me.
The feeling is mutual. You know, you should start the show pretty soon.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at least for another 2 months. I'm only a few weeks along. Don't be in such a hurry for me to lose my figure.
Oh, you will be beautiful and sexy even if you are 9 months along. How long do you think we should wait before we start on our second child?
Let's get this one born first, all right?
You know, you're going to make a wonderful mother. You've already shown that with Brandon.
Thank you, darling, but I think I should let you go back to work now. I shouldn't have distracted you for so long.
Oh, yes, you should have. And I loved it. But I do have an important meeting this afternoon. What are you going to do with yourself?
Well, I have a few errands I have to run. One of them is for you.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, a surprise. I found something in a store I thought you might like.
Oh, good. I like surprises. But, darling, there is one thing I want you to do for me.
Well, of course. What is it?
Don't drive after dark by yourself. I don't want you out there alone.
All right. I'll be home way before dark. I'm going to go upstairs and get my purse, so I'll give you a kiss goodbye now. Have a good meeting.
Bye, love. And take it easy today.
I will.
Hello?
Hello, Daddy. Greetings from sunny Bermuda.
Eden, hi, honey. How are you? Is everything all right down there? How's Kelly?
Oh, I'm fine. She's fine. In fact, she's coming home with me tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, that's terrific, sweetheart.
Well, listen, when you send me on an assignment, I don't fool around.
You sure don't. You say she's in good spirits?
Well, she seems to be much stronger. But something I have to warn you about, Marcello Armanti's in the picture again. When I came down here, he was here.
What? How on earth did that happen?
Well, Kelly asked him to. But listen, as much as I hate to admit it, I think that Marcello has
been good for her. He seems to be helping her.
Yes, but he shouldn't have gone behind my back.
Well, I have to agree. But he's here, and he's been urging her to come home. And as a matter of fact, he's the one that convinced her, not me.
All right, then. I am grateful to him for that.
Yeah, I am, too. I still don't like him.
And I definitely don't trust him. But listen, Dad, I need to talk to you about something when I come home.
Well, we'll all have a lot to talk about when you get here.
Well, no, I mean, just between the two of us.
Oh, now you do have me curious.
Well, I'll talk to you when I get back, and I have something to show you, too. But I'll talk to you later.
All right, sweetheart.
So long.
Bye.
I only have 3 left. I can't even get through the day on that. I have to figure out a way to get the rest of these pills from Hank. That's something he'd understand. No, I can't. I just can't.
May I speak with you, Eden?
Actually, I was going back to my room. I wanted to change out of my bathing suit. It kind of got cold.
There's a thief in the hotel. Something's been taken from my room.
Well, that's awful. Did you report it to the management?
No, I thought I would report it to you first because I believe that you are the thief.
Why would I want to steal anything from you?
Because what was taken is absolutely worthless to anybody else. A real thief would have stolen something valuable. Only you could have taken what is missing, and I want it back.
Well, this is so crazy, it's laughable. That's the only reason I'm not getting angry with you, Marcello. Now, what is it you think I've lifted?
Give them back to me, Eden.
Well, I think it's amazing that you think that I'm a thief. Would you like to go with me back to my room and you can search my room?
I've already searched your room. It's not there.
How dare you? How dare you go through my possessions without my permission?
One good turn deserves another, and since I didn't find anything there, I thought you'd probably still have it in your possession.
What are you doing?
Looking for what is mine.
Did you find it? Huh?
No, it's not there.
Then I think you owe me an apology, Dr. Armonti. What are you staring at?
I'm looking at you. You hid something from me once before in Monte Carlo.
I don't remember.
Oh, but I remember the incident very vividly. It was a poker chip, and I had to retrieve it, just like I'm going to have to retrieve what you took from me now. So you do remember.
You don't touch me. If you lay one hand on me, I will scream rape, Doctor. Do you hear me?
Give them to me, Eden, or I'll have to take them from you.
Marcello Armonti. During the German occupation, he lived with his parents in a small suburb of Rotterdam. Was orphaned when he was 5 years old. Interned in several German concentration camps until the war's conclusion. Adopted 1 year later by the Count Armonti and brought to Italy to live. Colonel Channing Capwell enlisted in the Army Air Corps as a pilot. Flew 16 successful missions over enemy territory until his plane was shot down in the outskirts of Rotterdam. Rotterdam. He lived with his parents in a small suburb of Rotterdam. Operator, I want information in Bermuda.
I'm going to get them back, Eden, one way or another.
Get your hands off me. I'll give them to you. Now, don't ever touch me again.
I have no reason to touch you. These were all that I wanted.
You know, I'm glad I searched your room, so all this could be out in the open now.
What out in the open? That you're a thief?
No. Your obsession with my father.
Oh, leave the psychological jargon to me, would
and
you?
his involvement in World War II.
How very dramatic. But what could this obsession be?
I don't know. I don't know what it is you're hiding.
Be sensible, Eden. I was a baby during the war. What possible connection could I have with Colonel Capwell?
I don't know. It must be some coincidence. Like the coincidence that you arrived in Santa Bárbara 16 years ago? I think you're a very dangerous man, and I don't want you near my father. And I definitely don't want you near my sister. Can you answer?
No. I'll answer it. Hello?
Yes, I'm looking for a Ms. Eden Capwell. She wasn't in her room or her sister's room, and the desk clerk said I might find her at this extension.
No, I'm sorry. She's not here.
Is that you, Marcello?
Yes, that's right.
Well, this is Cruz, Doc. Do you know where Eden is?
No, I think she's out somewhere. I really don't know.
Who was that?
Do me a favor, will you? If you see her, tell her I'm trying to reach her. It's real important.
Yes, of course I will. Goodbye.
Who was that, Marcello?
It didn't concern you. Now listen to me, Eden. If you're going to make accusations against me, you are going to look like a great fool. Because I am a respected psychiatrist with an international reputation. I have treated your mother and your sister successfully, as well as many, many others, and they'll both attest to that. Even your father, when he sees Kelly, will be astonished by her progress.
Well, I don't know what it is, but you're doing something awfully wrong. Why? Why were you asking me for my father's World War II records in his files? Why do you have my father's dog tags?
Because Colonel Keppel was a hero during the war. He was involved in heroic exploits, some of which I heard about when I was a boy in Europe. I found those dog tags at an auction of war memorabilia, and I bought them.
What an amazing coincidence.
Yes, probably, but it's true. Yes, I had an ulterior motive in buying them, just as I had one in wanting to read his war records.
Are you going to finally tell me the truth?
Yes, and it's such a simple truth, you'll be ashamed when you hear it. I wanted to read up your father's war experiences in case it got to a certain delicate point in those merger negotiations between Almonte Industries and Capwell Enterprises. I wanted to soften him up by flattering him. A very simple ploy, very human and very understandable, I should think. As far as those dog tags are concerned, I was going to present them to him as a gift if and when the merger came through. Now, can you tell me what is so wrong about any of that?
I don't believe you for a minute. Not any of it.
You've been hostile to me since we first met. I think it's time that I give up on you. Eden, I don't care what you believe.
Whatever it is you're doing, I plan on stopping.
For the last time, there is nothing to stop. But if there were, I wouldn't allow anyone on Earth to get in my way.
What do you think you're doing? Around, baby.
Hank, let me go!
Yeah, you wouldn't have found what you were looking for anyway.
They're mine, give them to me, I paid for them!
Gina, you know what would make me really unhappy if I thought the only reason you came by my pad was to steal from me. That would really hurt me, after everything we've been to each other. You know what I think? I think you came here to surprise me, just like in the old days. Remember when you used to be waiting for me in bed, all warm and ready?
Let me go, Hank!
Get in there.
No! Let me go, stop it!
You make me happy, Gina, just like you used to.
Don't, Hank, don't! Let me go! Let me go!
see, these are the people that were around that day and had a possible motive, and who knew about or could have known about the tunnel.
Yeah, well, what about this blank space with the question mark?
Well, that's for whoever I haven't thought of yet. I mean, Channing probably had a few more enemies.
Yeah, he had quite a number of them, from what I hear.
Gillis, look, I got a plan to trap this guy. A way to force him to reveal his identity.
Or her.
Or her identity.
Well, that's great. What is it?
Well, before we get into that, I want to explain to you, the plan has to be executed very precisely, and it could still involve a considerable amount of risk.
You go on.
I got a feeling that whoever we're dealing with might go to great lengths to avoid being identified. That could include killing again. So if he or she were to get wind of what I'm up to...
Well, what we're up to.
Gillis, don't just jump into this without thinking about it now. This is important, and it could be very dangerous.
Yeah, I've been working on this with you ever since you reopened the case. I'm not backing out now. It's my final decision, period.
You're my kind of cop, Gillis. Sit down, let's talk. Here's what I want you to do.
Lover's Hideaway. The bowels of the earth. Right under all our noses.
How he must have laughed over that. Oh, the many facets of Channing Jr. Now the cobwebs have taken over. Oh, that's fitting. What's this? Photograph album? A pictorial record of the loving couple, Channing and Lindsay, of their happy days and happier nights. What an incredible find. Dad wouldn't believe me if I told him about the affair. Probably wouldn't even believe Lindsay's letter, but he's got to believe this. It's all here, in living color and loving detail. No way he could deny it now. Why, thank you, Channing. You finally did something worthwhile. You helped your brother Mason. But now the problem is how to present this to our father. What's the best way to handle this treasure of 4x5s?
Of course. I know exactly how to do it.